Up next in our series for the Mingle 2022, we have Jan Ennenga. And Jan, you're from Yuma.
I'm from Yuma, Arizona.
This is your first Mingle, or is...
It is my very first Mingle. I am so excited to be here, to come all the way out east and spend time with these lovely unicorns, right? As a woman in the industry for a few years, it just feels like we're so rare. Although coming to events like this and knowing with organizations like A Girl and a Gun and Armed Women of America and so much is happening in the industry, it's so invigorating. And so we're not an endangered species any longer.
Well, and it's been documented a lot over the last several years, and it's growing, that women are the fastest growing segment in the firearms industry. And that's something that, even though it's been true for several years, the segment continues to grow year after year, especially since COVID. The percentage of women that are buying firearms continues to become a larger and larger percentage of firearms that are purchased.
Well, and women are taking responsibility for themselves and their own self-protection. And they're recognizing that they're vulnerable, that the world isn't a safe place, and that not only for themselves, but for those that might be in their care, whether they're their elderly parents, or whether they're their children, or whether they're a spouse. And so they're taking responsibility and saying, I need to not depend on someone else all the time, and law enforcement may not be able to get to me in time. And that has been proven out.
Yes, absolutely. Arizona, a couple things here real quick. Arizona is constitutional carry, has been constitutional carry for several years, and that's something that's growing throughout the nation. And it says here, your EDC, your regular carry gun, a SIG 365 with optic. Is that something new for you, or is that something that's been your regular carry for a while?
I've had a regular carry for a while with an optic. It was a Walther PPS.
Okay.
And then when the SIG came out, I wanted one for a long time, but resisted until the X and gave in. And so because of the round count, it has replaced my beloved Baron Von Pugh, who now sits in the White Castle safe.
Okay. All right. And I'll say this from my personal experience, and somebody who's just went to optics myself, my eyes aren't what they were when I was 20 years old. And the optic brings me back several years in my shooting.
Yes, and it's helped me increase my speed, because I can see it more rapidly and get the confirmation that I need as someone who needs that kind of confirmation and wants to be accurate. Because our shots count and they matter.
Sure.
So.
One thing I need to ask, and I ask this of almost everybody who sits here, we are in the middle of day 2. The Mingle portion of the Mingle is just starting. We've just completed the training portion of the Mingle. I need to ask, as somebody who obviously you have been through training before, what have you thought of the first part of the Mingle, the training portion so far?
Well, I would first like to correct a misnomer that the mingling's going to start now, because we've been mingling from the outset, meeting each other, working with each other, being in groups together, training together, working as partners on the range with people that we may never have met. My partner I had met before this weekend, and so the training has been fantastic. Just pushing it down to the next level and helping us to learn to diagnose ourselves as shooters, but also help those that we instruct, because the majority of us that are here are instructors as well, or chapter leaders or facilitators. And so the instructors have been superb about giving us information that we can bring back and put to use for ourselves and for those that we train.
All right, last question, as our time is running low. Somebody is watching this and thinking, well, do I want to become involved in the 2023 or beyond version of the Mingle? What do you tell them? What's your takeaway? Why should they attend this?
I think the combination of interaction and meeting new female shooters from across the United States, coupled with training opportunities, the opportunity to talk with sponsors, the opportunity just to push beyond your usual little box that you're comfortable within, and do it. just reach outside. I mean, Yuma's a long way from Georgia, Jasper, Georgia, and yet I am so grateful to be here.
Yeah, you were probably looking at a 1,800-mile trip to get here, right? Close to. Well, you
probably so.
You I'm guessing you flew. You did not drive.
Yes.
Okay.
I flew.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for taking your time to talk with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.